So Donkey Kong Bonanza is finally out, and I have to say it's probably the best first-party Nintendo game since Smash Ultimate. And since that game is more of a multiplayer-focused game, it's probably the best single-player Nintendo game in well over a decade. And yeah, I do know it's based on the game engine of Super Mario Odyssey, which is a great game in its own aspect. However, I do feel like this game is better, and it's mainly due to like the openness of the gameplay. And clearly I'm talking about like the destruction nature here, because like since the announcement of this game, the destruction has been pretty much forefront and center the entire time. However, I'm here to tell you like it deserves every bit of that hype, because you can load a level up here or a world up, and you can just simply have at it deconstructing the entire thing. And obviously there's eventual boundaries because, you know, it can't go on forever. However, like you can pretty much reduce a level all the way to just simply a flat plane if you wanted to, if you want to take all those hours to go through that. And I know that might not sound like a lot of fun, but I'm here to tell you like it's just simply mindless fun. It actually has a reward in it. We're going to get to it in a second. But it's just simply the mindless fun that reminds me of like some of my favorite arcade games as a kid. Like it goes back to like Rampage here, like where you go for the city and destroy everything. Once again, you just simply get to destroy the entire environment here. Or like Dig Dug, where you sort of dig through the soil, trying to find different treasures and different enemies and different, like little caverns you can explore. Same concept here. Even like Super Mario Brothers 2 on the NES. You go into like the sand level or the desert level and just sort of dig through all the sand here, trying to find the different keys and treasures and things like that. And so like the idea of like deconstructing your environment is definitely a retro idea, and they've simply brought it back and sort of taken it to the max here. And I feel like it's probably the best way possible. I know some gamers out there love the idea of constructing things like Minecraft and building entire cities, but there's also us gamers who enjoy going through and destroying the entire city and destroying the entire landscape. I know like growing up SimCity 2000, I would often just like load up pre-made cities and whatnot on the computer and just simply go through and like, you know, have the little alien invasions or have like the different weather storms come through, destroy everything. There's something about having the power to destroy the environment inside of a game that is just, I don't know, it's very satisfying. And while yes, you can load Donkey Kong Bonanza up and sort of zone out the relaxation of destroying everything, the destruction actually does have a point in the game that it makes it a little bit more fulfilling and actually plays more into like the gameplay concepts here. Because like as you work through your massive piles of dirt and stone and concrete and all these other minerals and whatnot, you get to collect gold, treasure chests, maps, balloons, bananas, and also come across like little compartments that you can explore and find different items in, because pretty much everything that you collect can either be used in one of the stores or cashed in order to help aid in your exploration. And so like for example, you find different gold in the environment, you can use this to cash in to buy maps to find different fossils, find the fossils in the environment, and you can use the fossils to cash those in at a separate store in order to upgrade your outfit, and those outfits are going to aid in some more passive buffs to your character to once circle back around to aid in more exploration. Now obviously the ultimate goal in the exploration is to find the bananas, and you of course can use your gold to cash in for banana maps here, or just simply use your passive buffs to sort of expand the area that you're exploring through as far as like finding helpful hints and whatnot. And obviously once you get enough bananas, you get a skill point here, and the skill points allow you to basically expand your character moveset here, or expand their power or their health and things like that, which in turn makes the game easier, but also just simply gives you more power in the destruction here. And so like everything that you find in the environment is going to aid in helping you become a better character, and also just simply achieving more goals inside the game. And so like this is the way Collectathon should have been like pretty much all along. Instead of just simply being a completionist idea of going through trying to collect everything that you come across, just simply make it where you collect enough to get your character as powerful as you want it to be, and then move on to the main story. Now me personally, I've been trying to do 100% on like every level I've come across, because I do enjoy that completionist attitude. However, it does give you the freedom of like how much you want to complete and actually see the results of your collecting of these items, outside the idea of just simply hey, I got them all, it's a 100% little token on my profile and whatnot. This is an actual reason to collect and explore the environment. But even beyond the destruction and the completionist side of things, the worlds that they've crafted here have that old school charm of like the Rare days to me, which is really impressive and very exciting. Like they brought Cranky Kong back again. I love that they like kept this same attitude of, I guess I just have to do it myself since you're incapable. I don't know, it's just such a core aspect of who Cranky is. And I've always loved Cranky Kong, and the idea they kept it exactly the same, I don't know, it just sort of warms my heart a little bit. They also brought several of the core characters like Ramby's back here. Also brought like the Fragmentones, who are a new character, but they all have these little eyeballs on them. It look like sort of the, I don't know, Banjo-Kazooie look. And at one point, some of the Fragmentones here are actually sort of broken apart into like little jigsaw pieces, have the same eyes on them. They look like Jiggies from Banjo-Kazooie, which once again, I don't know, it just sort of warms my heart to see like the old days sort of coming back. There's also one level you actually get to go back and play the first level of Donkey Kong Country with like the new physics of this game and the destruction aspect. I don't know, I love that they are honoring where they came from and sort of giving you an opportunity to replay that level. I know Super Mario Odyssey did some similar things like Mario Bros. Brothers 1. I just really enjoy when they pull back to the very beginnings or the origins of these franchises and like hide it inside the game a little bit. There's also like little bits of dialogue for pretty much every NPC you come across. They're going to give you like a little small quest to find more banana gems, or just simply like little quips that you sort of read as you're running by them, sort of add to the world and the charm that they've created. And so like they really did their best to bring these worlds to life and to really just hide as much as they possibly can inside it. Like I think there's like 70 or 80 bananas that you can collect in some of these levels, and like so many more fossils even beyond that. And so like you can literally spend just hours on every single world here, just finding new secrets constantly as you're going through it. And I know you could probably find like a guide out there that sort of breaks down like where all the different locations are, but it like takes away the fun of the exploration of this game. Actually tries to destroy the things, to get the items, to find the maps, to find on your own. It's just simply a very rewarding game cycle that they've created inside the worlds. And like as far as the worlds themselves go, they are a beautiful landscape. This does look really good on the Switch too. And obviously they borrowed a lot as far as like the programming from Mario Odyssey. And so you can sort of have an idea of like what to expect in some of these areas, but it does look really fantastic on the system. Now the music, I will say, as you're journeying through these worlds is sort of average. None of like the songs like really stood out to me massively here. And some of the songs do come across as like a little bit on the annoying side. Like when you go into like Super Kong mode, as I'll call it here, you have like Paulina singing in the background. So it's like sort of a standard anime theme song. And like it's okay, but it does get pretty old because you hear it like every single time you transform, and you're going to be transforming a lot, especially like, you know, going through and destroying things. So some of the music is not my favorite, but speaking of transforming, there are multiple different Kongs that you can morph into to become more powerful and more unique as the game is going to progress here and sort of keep the gameplay fresh. So I guess I can handle like the annoying little ditty that goes along with the transformations. And I mean Diddy as in music, not as in Diddy Kong. That is. But speaking of, he's also in the game as well. But back to the main topic, I mean, the old school charm of DK is definitely here, and they're really harkening back to sort of the roots of the old school collectathons, and I really feel like they're just, I don't know, the nostalgia runs deep inside this game. Now, the story of the game is pretty basic here. I mean, it is a Nintendo game. They really don't go too deep on story, but the monkeys have discovered some golden gem bananas on their island, and as they're mining for them, there's an evil company called the Void Company that comes along and steals all of the bananas. And so we're trying to chase after them to get our bananas back, but in the process we do run across a girl named Pauline, who in this chaos here got trapped beneath the surface, wants to get back to the surface where she came from to become a legendary singer. And so in our process here of trying to capture the Void Company or get back to them, we figure out if you get to the core of the planet, you can get a wish granted. And so if we can get our wish granted, we can get all the bananas back and also Pauline back to the surface. So we're trying to get to the core of the planet in order to get our wishes granted and return home with all of our bananas. The story is fine. I mean, it serves to explain why we're going through all the layers of the planet here. It explains different worlds we journey through and some of the different characters. And so the story's fine, but don't expect, you know, some classical or literary writing. But now let's talk about the Ellie in the room. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. The frame rate here. Before this game launched, I pretty much had already heard like the game struggles with frame rate in certain areas. And at first I was like a little disheartened because like this is the second game on the Switch 2 and they're already sort of maxing out the performance. However, like when playing the game, it's pretty much a non-issue. I noticed it a few times during like intense destruction sessions or like during massive gold rushes, but there was so much like else going on the screen, like the frame rate dropping just barely was not really even noticeable and certainly didn't take away from the gameplay in any form or fashion. And I know some people will still say it's inexcusable, but like when you play the game, it's pretty much a non-issue. And the other Ellie, sorry again, is the redesign of DK, which, I mean, changes happen over time, and I personally think it's a cool take of like the vintage DK. So like, I don't know, I like it, so it's not really an issue to me anyway. But overall, this should have been the launch title for the Switch 2, and it very well could end up being the best game on the system. I have no idea why they chose Mario Kart over this, because in my opinion that was a pretty big mistake. There's so much more content here, so much more fun to be had. Single player, there is a multiplayer aspect. I didn't really get to try that out any. It does seem sort of a almost like an afterthought, so I'm not going to really hype up the multiplayer aspect of Kong Bananza here. But this is a system seller, and hopefully people won't just simply write it off as a game that's getting too good of reviews or too much hype, which is an odd thing to say, but it does seem like sometimes when the game gets like a perfect score across the board here, people begin to question like, is it really that good? And they seem to turn against it just sort of to be a little bit on the different side. And so to me, the game is worth the hype 100%. Don't turn your back on it. Give it a try if you have a Switch 2. It is a system seller. And so, I don't know. I'm really excited to see where else Nintendo goes with this system, because this game here shows Nintendo definitely still has it, which everybody was wondering. Did they lose after Mario Kart? No, Nintendo still has it. It is a fantastic game. But hopefully we're going to see more and more games like this from Nintendo in the near future. But what do you all think about Donkey Kong Bonanza? Did you pick it up? Did you love it? Did you hate it? You can let me know in the comments down below. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Check my other videos listed up above and go out there, find a great game to play. Simply have a great rest of the day.